Hey folks, this is J3 Puffin back at it again with Sparrow,
Hi.
and we are progressing into green, starting with the dudes shredding some stuff. So, if Leslie's book is in your memory, this card gets the following ability. It's 500 assist. The personal home shredder event gets -1 cost while it's in your hand, and it is a salvage brainstorm.
Yeah, it's definitely, it absolutely reads a doubler brainstorm immediately, I think. There is no questions asked here.
For sure.
Okay, yeah. This also, it's funny that it interacts with two events. I don't know. Most cards don't do that. The only one I can think of is the Danmachi combo.
Yeah, that's the only one
Anyway.
that comes to mind for me too.
Okay, yeah, basically, if we remove the second effect, this card becomes the main Adventure Time brainstorm, basically.
Ah, okay.
But that one needs the I remember you event, which is a 1-1. This one obviously needs the 2-1 event that we saw earlier in the book.
Yep.
So it's a little harder to do that part. So it also gets the extra effect to make all of your other events cost zero. And don't worry, we'll talk about that relatively quickly because it interacts with the main combo from the Green Dapplers. So, well, okay, as far as the flavor goes, this one is literally the final scene in the whole like television series. Basically, yellow guy comes back with the book. He says we have answers, but because they pulled out the batteries from the electricity box, the power went out, and they were so mad that the power went out that they immediately jumped on him, pulled out the batteries, put them back in the electricity box to restore the power, and then yellow guy was dumb again, so he couldn't understand what the book was supposed to be. So he just said it's something shreddable. And then they went to shred the book happily
Just it's
and
was
roll credits.
was this foreshadowed at all? Like, did they talk about the shredder beforehand?
Yeah, they
Okay,
absolutely did. In fact,
good.
if you go two slides down, you can see that the climax is literally called
Okay.
"What About My Shredder?"
All right. Yeah. So this
We'll
is
explain that.
this didn't just come out of nowhere. This was like a
Yeah.
Chekhov's thing.
It
Okay.
was foreshadowed. No, don't worry
Good. Good.
about it. Well, yeah, I think I don't. I guess I can give it the plus because it's interesting. It's also it's not just a basic brainstorm, but it's not any new ideas here. It's just a remix of a bunch of
Yeah.
effects that I've seen.
Yeah, but definitely in what I feel like it would be a very effective way for the deck here, hypothetically putting all this in.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like this alongside the combo. We'll see later. It's supposed to be the quote unquote like obvious good build, which would be built around the 3-2 yellow guy combo and then the dark combo we will see in a bit,
Yeah.
and all alongside this brainstorm to sort of support both of their events.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to that combo, we do have to contend with. Oh, hey.
Yeah, this is the payoff for the first card. This is Dak Pesky B. He has just secured a victory over the quote unquote B. Basically, when he's played, if all of your characters are June 20th, you can choose a cost zero lower pesky B character in your opponent's states and put it in their waiting room. It's like Wataman, but even more specific. And then he's also a Riki, but but it's a trait Riki, not the standard one or lower. So it's like Disney.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Disney has one of these. It's wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
this card's also great. Specifically
yeah.
because, like, you have the setup. You can literally just kill anything, cost zero, as long as you target it with the other card beforehand, which is a very nice innovation on the whole cost zero killer profile. Yeah, and then Trait Ricky is insane for a thing that they just have decided to start printing.
Yeah. Okay, my logic was more so that that one, since not the first effect, could be considered like situational, quote unquote, because you need this setup. So I thought, I guess that sort of justifies giving you the stronger Ricky effect. And the flavor is pretty. He kills the bee, he smacks the bee. Yellow guy sees the bee, and then he smacks.
But you know what? I feel like this is just like a every deck would end up playing some number of copies of this,
I
just
mean,
as a
yeah, it's
matter
the
of
Riki,
course. Yeah.
obviously.
All right. Let's see. Duck electricity lesson. During your turn, if you have two more other trade characters, gets 2k. On attack, pitch a card
Oh no,
for.
the pits comes later.
Well, it's cigarettes, and then you
And
can
yeah, first
pay
you
for it,
cigarettes, yeah, and then you can pay.
which is not Chizuru, but definitely has the some similarities. Okay.
It's a similar sort of math to Scissor.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, cigarettes, and then you did want to grab the personal home shredder event, which I guess we can go to see where it is. It would be, yeah, it's
There it
slide
is.
79.
Yeah. Salvage. Give one of your opponent's characters minus 1k, and then if you don't have the book in the memory, you can just put it there.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, it's a pretty
Yeah.
simple, filter event that grabs you a specific thing. And then, this is where it all comes together. We used the shredder to shred the book, so the shredder puts the book into your memory.
Which means that yeah, everything just kind of pops off for the rest of the game plan. Yeah. For that like load bearing purpose, this combo is definitely is important. And I do like the Chizuru profile just by itself. Definitely gets the job done, but I don't think it's anything crazy for sure.
Yeah, it's not crazy, but a lot of the time they do just put conveniently average quote unquote combos on the RR slot just because it's convenient for the deck it's supposed to be for.
Yeah.
So, it just works out. Like, what else would it be if it wasn't this guy for the RR? Yeah, as far as flavor, he's just completely, utterly infatuated with that shredder. He could probably marry it if he could.
Yes, yes, and the shredder. Yep. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, I guess there is. I like it. It doesn't innovate, but it gets the point across.
Yeah. Plenty of flavor
And
going on
and it
that way.
yeah, and it ties together all of the book related things with the event.
We don't have book trigger here. There's an entire other set dedicated for that. Here we just have
Yeah,
book, the event.
yeah, it's an actual book. Yes.
All right.
Okay,
Next one.
moving on.
What?
Okay, this one's a little weird.
Those faces.
These are the bread children. On play, you can stock one card from your hand. Also on play, you can shuffle two June 20th cards into your deck to give one of your characters 2000 power for the turn. And finally, also on play, you can pay two. If you do, search a character.
It's
Uh,
fascinating.
yeah, I'll say immediately there is no flavor here. It's just this is a profile I wanted to make. Basically, you have the shuffle, which gives you more targets to search. You have the search itself, which can be used to when you have a lot of stock, you can use the stock or something. But if you just need to a drop search, the first effect in combination with the third effect is effectively a drop search.
it's it just
So yeah,
drops search and gives something
yeah,
2k, but in
so yeah,
bonus. I like yeah, it's a very fun combination of things.
yeah. I think maybe some people might argue that this is not a rare worthy, especially because it's just a random background character. But I don't know. I feel like there is enough sort of like weird, quirky utility going on that it might be very strong.
Yeah, for sure. B for bread.
I, yeah. Next up, we have this is you.
Duck, he's definitely dead. He's a snow bunny, but if he's on stage, he gets a death trait because he's definitely dead.
Yeah, and no, literally, this episode literally begins with him reading the newspaper, and he says what he says here, and then we look at the newspaper, and the newspaper literally says definitely dead, and it has an image of Duck above it.
Well, I think Snow Bunny is still a good card.
Yeah, it's a good card. It has the very simple flavor going on. It combos with the one other yellow guy.
Yeah. All right. Additional cards
Okay,
over
now
here.
now we're getting back into the weird things. I have to explain what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Red Guy and Duck Bigger Boys. On play, you mill 2, and this gets X power until the end of the opponent's next turn. X is equal to the number of characters among those times 1000. And at the beginning of the opponent's draw phase, you mill 3. If all of the cards milled are June 20th characters, you may return this to your hand.
In the not so distant future, where Duck has become one with his shredder, and Red Guy has ascended into some non Euclidean abstract being.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the actual lore. Yeah. Uh, Basically, when Yellow Guy becomes self-aware, he starts climbing up the house, and they kind of have a thing where each level of the house you get into a smarter and smarter version
Mm.
of the characters. The first level is them, then the second level is the big boys, and then the third level is the bigger boys, which are these. And then and after that is Leslie herself. Just kind of visiting them again. And these guys, all they do is basically they say that they just want to do experiments.
Mm.
I wasn't sure how to translate that, so I just kind of used this idea I had of what if we just combine a bunch of mill-based blasting effects to make the turbo mill blasting 0.
Yeah,
I don't know.
this thing mills 5 in a set that has like the twins combo in it. So like
Yeah,
you're just trying to like dump. Probably got to be careful not to dump too many, obviously. But like you could try
yeah.
field
That's
these and
the
end up with like 15 cards milled.
the big thing with this is that both of the mill effects are mandatory, so you have to be kind of careful
Yeah,
when you
that's
use it.
yeah. The fact that it is 5 mil, but it's mandatory 5 mil, and the most plus you're gonna get out of it is a bounce, but not the hardest bounce to get either. But yeah, just this is how you shred through your deck right here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if this would do anything. I guess. Okay.
Next up, Duck.
This one. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
you.
Dressing up smart. On play, gets 1500 power of talent return. On when, yeah, these are both reverse effects. So on reverse, you can rearrange top two, and if there's a climax in your climax area, top deck card of your deck into your stock. That is, yeah, it's a nice combo. It obviously sits a little bit small, so definitely needs some backup. But you literally have a card that's like several ways to give it like 2k plus power before you go
Yeah,
swinging.
yeah.
So definitely not
Uh,
hard to do.
yeah, this is actually one of the cards I am kinda regretting. I might change this one.
Mm,
I like the idea here, but the thing is, this set already has a bunch of really cool and interesting ways of generating stock.
yeah.
And I'm a little afraid that by making this like a more optimized version of the standard stocker might invalidate all of the unique ways of gaining stock. So I was considering just making this something else. I'm not sure what exactly. I don't know. I guess we will see about that.
Because a card like this, it kind of frees up. Like you can do some wackier things with your climax lineups in that case. And considering all of like most of the climax lineups are like packages, that like being able to free up just a little bit of that, so you could try to do like I don't know, like try to cram the family shot in to a deck that also just has like and now for level 3 it's a duck and he's gonna clock kick you. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea if you can actually make functional like family deck with pincers. There are off pincers you can play for sure, but I don't know.
Definitely something to mess around
Uh,
with once I start coding this up. This is
yeah, I
definitely
don't know.
achievable.
I might just make a different card for this because I don't know. It's not a problem with the card. I'm afraid that it might detract from other cards in the set just by being a more convenient way of doing the same thing. Okay. Next up, we have another beloved character right here. This is Stain, the Spirit of Adventure. Okay, this guy, let's just explain what he is first, because once Doug became legally dead and buried alive, they were issued a replacement. and this is the replacement.
Issued a replacement. Okay.
Yeah, like this guy's like he's extremely hopeful and starry-eyed. That's like his whole thing compared to everyone else who's just really absurd and talking very monotone most of the time.
Yeah.
So this one, he's a 2 hour class early play. He has assist, giving 1500 to the characters in front of him. And when your character triggers a climax, you can ditch one to perform the Rico effect. He's basically designed to be the all-rounder, like good back row card you can play if you don't have anything package related to play.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely seems quite good for that. Yeah, like an everyman kind of thing. On trigger check, Rika is interesting.
Yeah, it's the same as they have one of these in Avatar, but I don't think they play it though.
I don't ever remember seeing that. But that's a toff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely good. Man, all your characters get 1500 set up like power for the duck and other cards. Solid. All right. Uh, yeah, if you have three or more other characters, it gets 2K because now there's four of us. You have to have four characters. You have the. Oh yeah,
It's
because you only get the one of them, right? Because on play, pay one, search your deck for another copy of this on stage, and then on attack, if you have the character condition, which is now traded as well, but what should not be a problem, and you have the bar climax, perform the following effect, each of the following effects one time in any order, but if you don't pay one, pitch one, then you'll get one of them, a heal and deal one damage. So like an on attack climax version of the Hurricane Children, because they also have that modular like thing.
Yeah, so this one is I had a lot of fun designing this one in particular because, again, spoiler alert, this one has a 2-1 Canada changer.
Right.
Uh, what's going on here is eventually Stain, Red Guy specifically, eventually started to transform him into a copy of Dak because he was missing Dak
Yeah.
specifically. And in the meantime, Yellow Guy was out digging up the actual Dak, and this is the moment where they meet. The idea with this is okay, so you have your Canada chains, right? And you can play down instead of having to. It's kind of the opposite of what Canada chains usually entails, which is you do a giant investment, but you get this really powerful Canada that gets you tons of resources.
Yeah.
This is kind of the opposite idea where you can pretty much invest very little. You only need like a singular changer to deploy two of these very efficiently, but that's all you're doing. Then you have just two relatively large dudes that can just give you some nice utility, whether it would be healing or burning or both if you want to go for if you have the resources for that. And the idea is to start doing that, starting at level 2, and protect them and keep doing it, and kind of slowly whittle down your opponent while recovering.
Yeah, and I mean you also have the shuffle back in the
Yeah,
Birth
yeah, shell
Children,
hit the copies. Yeah,
so ooh, man, yeah, for like a long play kind of deck, yeah, this would be super solid.
I really really love this one. Uh, it's probably one of my favorite. Yeah, it's one of my favorite level 3 combo for sure from this set. Uh, it And obviously, it also has the sort of three or more thing for the now there's four of us, and on play someone a copy
Yeah,
because you have two decks now. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, for sure. All right.
Okay, moving on. This is another like insane technological innovation. Okay, this is deck looking at each other. If red guy looking at each other is in your clock, he gets mansion level in your hand. On play, if you have another character, you can ditch one to put the bottom card of your clock into your stock.
Huh.
And then he has alarm at the beginning of your main phase. Yeah, if this one is main phase, at the beginning of your main phase, if this is the top card of your clock, you can ditch a traded character. If you do, search your deck for red guy looking at each other. And spoiler alert, red guy looking at each other has the exact same effect layout as this card. He just has a different on play effect.
Yeah, so they both are each other's clock condition. They both
Yeah,
have the
and
alarm that grabs the other one, and then it's
Yeah, as soon as you clock them, you can grab the other one, and so you have them ready to be played.
That's so goofy. Yeah, I don't know if you'd ever be able to like fit this in like a pack,
Yeah,
like most
definitely
package
not in
decks,
a
but like
not in the package decks, but I think this would be just good in a more basic deck. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, this is another one. Like I love like the stupid alarms I did. I don't know.
Likely.
Yeah, and I guess the flavor is just they're looking at each other, so they work with each other. I guess.
Yeah. All right. Moving along from the Goofy Man, it's yes, the Sunder. Let's go. So yeah, this is the briefcase. The Sundering begins on play. You have the 4 cards in your winning room to marker underneath it. And also on play, you can pitch a trade character to draw one to set that up. When the 2K1 is placed in your climax area from
Oh
hand,
no no no! This is not a 2K one. This is a draw one
draw one.
2K
The fact that
two
it
K
gives
one. Yeah,
2K and 1 soul, brain.
it's even more jank. It's
Single target. How do you even shorthand that? I don't even know. But yeah, when you play this specific 2 soul climax, if you don't have any other characters, this gets Sunder into a duck post from the post box. So
yeah
you have to pay 3, ditch send the climax, and 3 cards from your hand to your waiting room to do that.
yeah, and that's how the Sander begins. I guess we can go to the other Sander targets afterwards. Let's talk about how this comes to be first. Basically, the first idea here compared to classic Sander is to use this very old, very weird trigger right here, the draw one, give a guy 2K and a soul. You only have one guy anyway, so you might as well get the extra draw to help pay with the hand cost.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
That, that's the idea there. As far as the extra ditch one, draw one, that's there to set up one of the because one of the standard targets can swap into this for a little cheaper because that's something they like to do with standard. Usually give them a 32 changer
Right. Yeah.
because it changes from the hand by bouncing itself. I want to have a way to then immediately get it into the waiting room. Other than that, the payoff is literally Sander. Even when it came out, it wasn't crazy. It was more just really fun, and now even more so. Now, for the reason why the briefcase uh, has Sander is because basically he's singing his song about jobs and how you can be anything you want to do, and then he starts listing different possibilities for jobs one by one, and every time he lists one of those possibilities you cut to a character doing that job for a few seconds, then he moves to the next one and then to the next one and then to the next one, and I was like, okay, but what if we make that into a sander, and you start the song, and as you're progressing the song you go to the next cutaway.
that yeah, that definitely fits very well. I do like the. I've never built one of these, but I do like the concept for sure. Especially because the other day I watched Aker and Logon Player like literally get the combo set up in Sim, and then the Sim broke and didn't let him do it.
I would love to change.
That's actually hilarious. Oh, and it returns itself to hand as well, so sure.
Wait, what? My change.
What?
It didn't change. I think I clicked on it, pressed OK, but I don't know what happened, but it didn't let me play it. Well, this is a bit.
Shout out to Weiss and Chill for letting me use their stream VOD for that clip. So not like crazy potent or anything, but it is like what you get up to like 5 attacks.
Yeah, you get 5 attacks
So yeah,
once this resolves, you will always have enough to go to the next one because that's how it's costed.
Yeah.
Because all of the other ones have a pay one, only the first one costs a lot.
Yeah. Very fun.
Okay, I guess we can go to the targets real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the next one is the boss from the post box. I'm just gonna read this one because this one's probably the most bloated card in the set. Sadly, again, this has 3 base soul first and foremost,
Oh yeah, yeah it does.
on top of everything else. He has the Marine on play effect. Uh,
Oh my
then,
god,
at the beginning of the climax phase, you can bounce him to summon the briefcase from your hand. He also has Act to sack 3 characters to salvage the Sander climax. And finally, he also has the standard Sander effect. When he's played from the marker area of briefcase, he gains Sander into dark paints with a paintbrush.
yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, okay, this one, okay, I'll say, like, these are all effects that Sander packages get to support themselves to function.
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, instead of it's usually like separate cards that do each of these. I was like, wait, let's put all of them into one card just to save time, I guess, just to make it compact as possible.
Just, you know, to save space in the set. My
Yeah,
god. If this principle was applied to, like, any other thing, this card would be like a triple S, like, you know, wee woo alarm sirens going off, but it's set up for this Sunder. So, like, it's probably fine.
yeah, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even say that I am happy about this because it's extremely bloated, but it had to be here.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, now we're going to go to dark paints with a paintbrush.
Donk. Oh, yeah.
Okay, here this is dark paints with a paintbrush. He's a 2/1. Base 25. During his battle, all players cannot play backups. If you do not have another character, he gets +1 soul. During your turn, he gets 1,000 power, 10,000 power rather, and then he also has Sander. He can also Sander when played from the post box to go into red guy's shoes for the horses.
So we will have to cross into red to finish the.
Yeah. I think for this one instance, it's kind of necessary. But yeah, this card by itself is basically just a glorified level 3 killer, I guess. He has the extra backup protection, which I guess it makes him a little more potent.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's mainly here just to bridge the final Sander push. Okay, and
Yeah.
now we're going to make a bit of a really long jump to go to all the way to into red to see red guy shoes for the horses.
But
Uh, yeah, again, yeah, this is one of the first things I made. So he also has the no need for color thing that got technically unnecessary later. He gets 5,000 power during your turn. When he attacks, if all of your characters are June 20th, you can look at the top 2 and put one on top, put the other into your waiting room. And when played by the Sander ability of Paints with a Paintbrush, he gains Sander for yellow guy sad one, and that's where he comes into play.
right. Yeah, the
Being,
random 4K that gets to 2 soul.
yeah, that's how we complete the Sander cycle here.
Gotcha. Yeah, that does all come together. All right. So with all that in mind,
Yeah, that's the Sander package. It's simultaneously more bloated and more bare bones than the real ones in somehow, but I feel like it does its job as concisely as possible for the purposes of this set.
yeah, when there's already so much, like, so many things going on, like that, having a couple places where it's just like, all right, you do everything that one deck needs. It kind of
Yeah.
ends up being maybe not quite a necessity, but definitely the thing that's like sets one package apart from another. Huh. All right. That was a tour de force. I wonder if the next card will be just as impactful.
Somewhat. I don't know. You can read it.
Stuck. He's on the road. Gives Encore to the guy across from it. On reverse, clock kick. And when he dies, you can pitch a trade character to go get either of the other guys on the road.
Yeah, this is basically just the Ty Lee, but he's green, so he has the stronger bomb. And the funny downside that it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, it legitimately does not do anything for your opponent.
Yeah, I cannot. It's nothing special. It's just like, okay, we needed to make the third on the road card. The other two are like the two big combo pieces. So I guess this guy is the. It's a guy to get them.
Functional. Speaking of tree guys combos.
Yeah, here's Dak online. He would like to go to the dark web to look at a picture of a skeleton, as you do.
Hello.
When he's played on the stage from your hand, you can rest one of your standing characters. If you do, search your deck for a climax, put into your waiting room, and shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your waiting room, choose a climax in your waiting room, return to your deck, shuffle your deck, choose one of your 28 characters, and that card gets 1,000 power and dark web until end of turn. And then he's also a regular climax swap. And surprisingly, the first effect is not something I made up. It exists. It's just in a really, really old set.
Gotcha. Do you like old as in JP only level old or
Yeah, it's JP only.
oh my god. It's a 500 effect
Yeah,
to just like
apparently. Yeah, this
climax
is.
swap with to your deck and also give a guy 1k.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. You climax swap your waiting room in your deck. It's
Yeah,
really weird.
yeah,
Uh,
it's
uh, Yeah, I don't know what function that served in its own set. I I think they literally just showed me this. It was during one of the discussions they just kind of someone just posted that card and I was like, this exists. I guess I'm going to use that sometime. I was like, hey, what better thing to put it on than a climax swap, you know?
like yeah, it works super well. Like it literally is it becomes just like tutor for climax and also 1k because there's so many times where it's like, man, I need a climax swap, but the only climaxes I have available to me to swap into are the exact climax that I have already. So yeah, it's super functional, and I am curious how it relates to going to the dark web to look at a picture of a skeleton if it does it all.
Kind of basically, in my mind, this is kind of the idea of you can think of your deck as the dark web, and you can say that you're ordering a climax from the dark web. Yeah, tell that to your opponent. Tell them I'm going to order a climax from the dark web real quick.
Hold on, let me just go on to Silk Road real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely like this card. I definitely like what it's trying to do and the fact that it does it. And it can give itself the power. So if nothing else, it can also just be a 3k. Probably don't want to do that. Probably have other things to give that power to, but even so. Alright. Moving on from this very silly card. Very effective though. Yes. It's the coffin, which you put a dead person in. Pay one on place from hand, grab the duck definitely dead in your winning room, put it into your memory. When this attacks, give one of your other trade characters 2k till end of turn. And on reverse, it's a cost 0 clock bomb.
pretty strong in the current meta. I
Yeah.
don't think I was thinking about that when I made this, but it lines up well.
Yeah, if nothing else, this makes it this can get you like 2 lands over Kishibe. Because you also have several other cards in the set that can get pretty big one way or the other. So definitely like it. Definitely like it.
Okay, yeah, this is just basically the last sort of card that relates to the definitely dead deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just like, after he reads in the newspaper that he's definitely dead, then the coffin shows up and it's like, okay, we have to go to prepare your funeral now.
And they hire a coffin to do that. Like, sure, universe. That's fine. You know what, universe? That's okay. You can do that. That's fine.
Okay, this is Dak Transport Lesson. He's the last card that has the weird, outdated, colorless thing. And other than that, he is an exact replica. Well, not exact. He's a clock bomb version of the card titan bomb thing,
Hmm.
the one that blows things up. And he can also do that when he's played by Mr. Juju, if you remember that guy from way at the start of Yellow.
Yeah, the I do remember the yellow guy. Yeah, we
Yeah, we're
found another one.
slowly gathering that gang. We're slowly putting together that package.
Oh man. So like I know that people will play the yeah, that mill through effect because like it's on the botan that you see as well.
Yeah, the button is also the same profile as the card Titan. It just also has the extra neutral memory effect.
Yeah, because that's what you want.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
basically, it's more so that you were going to play in a Datsy anyway, probably.
Yeah.
So if you think giving up the ability to do it at level 2 warrants, having it's kind of a thing where if you're expecting to run into strong level 3 boards as opposed to just level 2 boards,
Yeah.
you might as well go with this that has a chance to blow more things up in the process.
Yeah. And no matter what else you're doing with your deck, whatever other package you're running, like this, it doesn't need color. So if you can't find your red
Yeah,
guys, you said everything. It's just always available. Yeah, solid card.
yeah. I tried to, when possible, make the even the package cards just to work, uh, as individual cards,
Yeah.
especially these ones that work with Mr. Choo Choo. They are pretty good individually. They just also work with him. Okay, now we can
I got
go to the
it's
yeah. This is the
Canada. I got it.
yeah
Instead of being a backup.
yeah. Instead of being a backup, he has the ditch one salvage effect, the one that you see on the trial deck to one Miko, I think.
Yeah, I legitimately do not remember that card in the slightest. I think I could see the art in my
They
head,
play
but I
that
have no idea what the effects
yeah
do.
yeah, it's that and I think a level assist or something. The
Uh,
main reason they used that is because in the Gura deck you would play instead of playing a regular drop salvage or whatever, you play that Miko because it has a soul trigger, even though she can only do it from level 2 onward.
right.
Uh,
Garatex.
yeah, but yeah, here it's basically super. Again, the name of the game for the duck combo is very efficient. You play him down, you salvage a duck combo from your waiting room, and then you play the bar, you swap into it, summon another copy, and you're good to go.
Yeah, definitely
And
super solid for that.
and then the flavor is just because the stain was slowly morphed into a second duck, so he changes into the ducks.
And the fact that because it's the Canada changer, so the replacement is free, you could easily have two of these guys and then just a third. Yeah, you could just have two of these guys and then two back row pieces, and then you have a full board of duck to swing with.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can definitely do two of these. I just feel like you get diminishing returns at that point because you cannot have a fourth one in your front row.
Yeah,
But if it feels necessary, it is an option you have. But the main selling point that they designed this around was the idea that one forever boy gets you two ducks very
yeah,
easily.
two ducks for one boy.
Yeah.
That classic saying that everyone knows. All right. Our next one is 73. The
Yeah.
bread mother.
This is
Okay.
the mother. Okay, this is we're getting into the short-lived bug build of this set. When you play a climax with bug and you have another June 20 character, you choose two of your characters, and those characters gain on attack. Look at the top two, put one on top, send the rest to the waiting room.
Oh, nice.
And then she also has Brainstorm 5. For every bug you hit, you can salvage up to two copies of either Dag His Own Family or Bread Children and return them to your hand.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's
Army Brainstorm just reapplied to.
it's Army Brainstorm, but yeah, and the first card is an army card technically, but I thought to add the Bread Children as well since she's the Bread Mother.
That is
And
very thematic.
the downside of these brainstorms tends to be that they get you a more raw advantage, but you don't get uh, to select something more particular. But this can grab something that can potentially go into something more particular afterwards.
Yeah, which is definitely useful, but
Yeah. It's very specialized for the bug build. Uh, there is no outside use for this.
And like, how? Remind me, have we already seen the other bag, and I'm just blinking on it?
No, the other bug is coming up in a bit.
Okay,
We've only seen the trial deck bug.
right. Okay, so we've seen, yeah. So the 8 bag build is right. Okay. Yeah, I would absolutely play this then. At least give it a shot. I really like that climax placement effect, and like for a we can actually it's a weird brainstorm, but it's still a brainstorm circuit, and get it be the like it is obviously super tuned into a very specific build that is may or may not be like obviously there are
It, it
definitely caps on
it's very
how far that
yeah,
goes,
it's
but
very
yeah, it's
much
still
meme. It's very much a meme build. Like once we see the combo, the other bug combo, because the trial deck one is pretty basic. It's not trying to be wacky. It's just a combo that happens to be on bug.
Mm.
The corset bug combo is the one that creates like uh, solidifies the wackiness of the build,
Hmm.
as we will see.
Fair. Well, yeah, we'll
Okay,
see that in a minute.
but in the meantime, we have calling the computer right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he's pitched to grab a character with online in its card name. So any of the trio that I mean we've seen two
We've
pieces
seen
of.
two of them. Yeah, there is one other one, and
Also,
I don't know, unintentionally or not, they happen to all be like really good. Okay, the yellow guy is a bit niche, but like the duck is a climax swap, and then the red guy is a pretty good off finisher. So like he's actually kind of solid, for being so specific.
yeah. So this guy is
Uh,
like a yeah. It's just a pitch on play pitch. There is no
yeah,
stock cost on it.
that's because it costs 2,000 to remove the stock from that. Yeah,
Yeah. So
just in
despite
case you were wondering.
Yeah, despite the fact that it's like a super niche, like it actually is searching like good utility cards. That I really do like that. He also grabs this. He's pay one sack himself to grab the glass spherical computer as
Yeah,
an event salvage.
that's the other green event.
Hmm.
Yeah, at the very end, I was like, okay, I need to justify the existence of all of these packages, I guess. And he's here to kind of do that.
Yeah, I definitely like
Uh,
that. That
I mean, yeah, he's fine. Maybe he's something to play. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fair. He's still super niche, but that's a niche that he's a weird like because you're gonna have so many of these that are just like plain packages. You're still going to need to find ways to fill those last few slots, and if you can grab a guy who just gets you your climax swap if you need that, then perfectly fine. Yeah. All right. Uh, next one.
Okay, next we have Dak doing visual inventory. Uh, when a climax is placed in your climax area, choose up to two characters and they get 1,000 power until end of turn. And when your character reveals a climax with two soul triggers, if you do not have another copy of this, you can reduce the soul of the attacking character by one until end of turn if you do draw one card.
Oh wow.
Okay, so I like the idea. I feel like it's a bit wasted in this set specifically because there is no like real standardized 8 2 soul build. It's more just there are a bunch of 2 soul combos that you may or may not wanna combine.
Yeah.
But I still think this is an interesting idea. I might revisit it in another set down the line.
Yeah, for
And
something
then
more focused on that. Yeah, but
yeah,
there's definitely like the range of levels. It definitely at least exists as a build, and it's not forever doomed to be like only for 2 soul decks.
yeah, and the first effect is specifically meant to help you go even more ham with the Stocks loop combo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, cause yeah, it's also not once for so this. Oh my god. Have you ever want? Hey, you want to see me kill Trifield Kishibe? You want to see me do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the minus just because I feel like I didn't utilize this very interesting effect to its full potential, but he's here.
There is definitely hidden potential still. In the meantime, if we move on.
Okay, here's the corset bag. You can go ahead.
Duck his own family, because we have the same diseases. You can put up to 16 cards with the same card name as this card into your deck. If the bag is in your climax area and this card is in your center stage, your other copies of this card in all of your zones get bag. When this is frontal attacked, it dies, and when it dies, you can pay to choose a character with duck in its card name from your waiting room to return it to your hand. Yeah, let me just play 24 bag. Does the
Yeah, the way he's worded, if you have three of him in the center stage, the rest become triple bikes.
my god, you're right. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's the whole concept here. We're going turbo blind stock.
You have more cards in you have more bag triggers hypothetically than you have cards in your deck. Except that you still only have 24 cards that trigger bag. But that's still a lot of bag, yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, and obviously the bread mother can help these find other copies by giving the top check too. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, yeah. And then I thought we needed a way to convert the potentially insane amounts of stock you will be generating. So that's where the last effects come in.
And also, this actually gives you enough stock to like use the trial deck level 3 like fairly like safely too. Oh man, this
Yeah, it's definitely wacky, but yeah,
I'm gonna
you can definitely imagine games where this angers one of the players.
yeah, absolutely. Just some guy that's like, why do you? Except for like, if for some reason you're playing this into like a Rico or a custom set that has the Majima assist, that's just like, oh yeah, so I can just keep crashing guys in and just keep building stock to whatever nebulous end goal that I want to, because you're sitting there with like
Yeah,
15 stock at level 1.
yeah, and probably like five climaxes in your stock
Oh yeah.
because you blind stocked with three bug triggers.
Oh my god. Yeah, this card's hilarious. Good work.
Yeah. As far as flavor goes, basically they kick him out of the family house in the episode with the creepy family,
Hmm.
and then he goes into like a song about how he doesn't need a family and he because he is his own family, and then he starts hallucinating a bunch of images of himself. And so yeah, that's the idea for him being like an army card. It's not a infinite army card because you some people were concerned about that. So I was like, okay, I guess 16 is good enough.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
the
and then
concept of oh my god, yeah, the concept of having
and then
oh man.
because these are just in his imagination, that's where the on frontal attack it dies comes in. It's kind of like, oh, it was just in your mind. It didn't exist.
Remind me that the when this card is frontal attack with this card into your winning room, that wasn't. We've actually known the like the power on that for a while, right? Like this wasn't
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
recent.
that
Okay.
gives you back 1500 power.
Yeah, and then each of those is
Yeah.
1500. Very interesting. Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
yeah, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Glad that
Yeah.
this exists. This card is just so bad. All right. The next card that we have not looked at yet is 78.
This one is also this is the friends of David. They are just a memory cake backup. As far as what they are and why they are here, basically when the coffin buries the duck, he writes the name David on his tombstone, and then they're like, "Wait, that's not my name." I'm like, "Oh well, I cannot change it now." And no, it's also a bit of a joke because a lot of people want to know what the main characters' actual names are, but
Yeah.
and yeah, they thought that they would get an answer, but it was just it was a throwaway sort of joke.
Yeah.
But then later in the episode, when yellow guy and red guy are grieving over their legally dead friend, uh, they go to the kitchen and these guys are there and they are like putting up a big like cry show about how much they miss David. It's a very funny scene as its own, but I really like the commentary of the scene actually because it's literally it's basically kind of making a parody out of those people, the many like people that go to someone's funeral
Oh
and
yeah.
they have like no real idea who the person is.
Yeah.
They are just there because they are supposed to be there and they are crying because they are supposed to cry.
Yeah.
That's kind of the I thought that was very funny. And obviously memory kick because oh no, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Who's
I don't know.
dead? David. Who the hell is David?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Definitely, like, modern sets just have memory kick. They find a way to put it in. This is definitely a solid way to justify it. Yeah, we have discussed the shredder. We have not discussed the glass spherical computer.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard event basically that exists. I don't remember what this has a name, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I also do
Uh,
not remember.
it's just like a defensive sort of counter that you can use. There is no specific like flavor here. All you need to know is that the computer guy he brings this thing in as a gift because the three main characters they were very good, like, because they were good boys, quote unquote. So they earned this thing as a reward, and that's why he can bond to it. I don't know. I knew I wanted him to bond to this because it made sense, but I don't know what I want this to do because it doesn't really do anything. It just kind of exists after that.
Yeah, that's
So I was like, okay, let's just give him that because we don't have a defensive event in this set. So now we have one.
fair. All right. Well, that was green. Green has very interesting things going on. For sure.
Yeah, definitely think the green is probably the most like it's the most smoothed out color. Like I think green is minimal on the confusion aspect as far as this set goes. You can understand what everything is at least trying to do.
That's fair. But yeah.
Yeah.
Until next time, when we look at red, bye bye.
But